Okay, so we don't talk about books anymore because there's no recording. Okay, Ethan. Hi, Ethan. Did you get what the last class is doing?
Yeah, hey guys, welcome back to Ethan Steven. So, we did the part 1, so we wanted to follow up with part 2. Although part 1 was primarily the setup of webpack, so this is just a continuation to what we're doing. Alright guys, so stay with us.
That's right.
And we'll be able to basically clarify some things. You might have some few questions in regards to the previous recording that we did, part 1, but bear with us. I know it wasn't a lot. We just wanted to introduce you to the setup of it. Alright, Steve, so what do we have for them today?
Today we're continuing the setting up the webpack.
Awesome, let's do it.
Let's continue do it. Let's go through line by line.
Yep. We're gonna go line by line in describing some of the, some of the values here, so you'll be able to understand what they are really.
Right. Cool. So the entry. The entry point is where the webpack finds the entry. It will first go to this JavaScript file. It will find this JavaScript file and follow the import statement to spread and find other JavaScript file. Then you see output. It will combine all those JavaScript file and bundle them together into one or more JavaScript file. I say one or more because it has a common part.
Right.
You use a multiple entry.
So just a quick summary, guys. So the entry is basically the entrance. Think of it of the entrance file, which is the app file. So that's where that's the very first step that Webpack is gonna basically go into, right? The entry file.
The entry file, yep.
Then the output is basically where everything just bundled together. They just pile together.
Right.
So hopefully you guys get that so far, right? Awesome. Let's keep going.
Let's keep going. So the plugins, we use the common chunk plugin, so that if we have multiple entries here, it will put the common part of the two entries of the two React app. You can,
right. Right. So we kind of explained this earlier, maybe in an earlier video. So basically we use a common chunk plugin. So what that does is, let's just say you're creating apps in it, but you're creating them in one page, but there are several apps on that page, React apps.
Right.
So that's when we will use the common chunk plugin. So what it does, it just get all the common stuff together and then group them together. So that's why we do the common chunk plugin. That's all it is, really. Hope you understand this.
Awesome. Okay, right. Next, it registers the extract text plugin. We register it, so later we can use it here. Okay, DevTool is a source map. What is source map? Basically, it allows us, when we debugging JavaScript, when we debugging the bundled JavaScript, we are able to get back to the original state. Yeah, original state.
The original state. Yeah.
Of the JavaScript file.
Oh yeah, right from where we started. So basically, this one, guys, to make this really succinct, it's involving the debugging of JavaScript. That's what this eval source map is.
It helps to debug.
It has to do with the debugging of JavaScript. Some people don't even use it, but that's think of it that way. It has to do with the debugging of JavaScript and also maintaining the original state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can later we can do a comparison
Right,
to
right.
remove it and see what's happening.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So you keep track in terms of what you did in regards to when you debug, and then you also have the original state. You can compare it to see what you did in from the original. Yeah?
I don't know what's that.
No?
Cool. Let's just
Okay, so
That's
now
it, that's
we're moving to rules.
moves, modules.
Modules.
Cool. Those modules are the how we transpile the file. It gives the webpack ability to transpile certain files, like the Bible loader. It allows the webpack to recognize ES6 syntax in the JavaScript file, able to transpile the new syntax.
Yeah.
And this is another module. Here we just register them. We use the extract text plugin and with the CSS loader together. Just extract the CSS to a separate file.
Yes. So this one is kind of self-explanatory. So Babel, we use that for transpiling the code, and the CSS loader is basically extracting the CSS file.
I think CSS loader is able to let the webpack recognize CSS, and extract will extract the CSS into a separate file.
Right. You got that? Did you guys get that? I hope you do.
I think you do. You're a smart guy.
You are smart. You can. I'm sure you guys get it. So yeah, these are just basically we try and explain, see if we can put this in the best language possible, like to really so you guys can really understand it.
Yeah, you're doing a good job.
So
yeah, if you don't understand, that's fine. You can use it as a boilerplate. I think it will be a good starting point for your project.
yes.
Won't go wrong with it.
You can't go wrong, guys. You can't go wrong. You're learning it.
We in the link we will provide. If you are more interested, we will provide some more resources.
Right.
You can look up what's the.
Yeah, and also if you guys have any questions, let us know. The GitHub will be there too as well for you guys to follow along if you want.
Yeah,
so
we'll provide the source code on the GitHub. So
awesome.
So you can use it in your next project. Awesome. What's the next? Close the project. Okay, cool. Next, let's create a HTML file. Here. Why we create a HTML file? This HTML file will be served directly to the client. First, make a hello world. And then next, let's create the node server so that we can look at it in the browser.
Right.
Alright, let's create index.js under server. Why is index? So later when we run this server, we can run like this, node server, and it will automatically find the index, just like you did this.
Right. So the server, guys, is basically it's using the back end. Some of you probably are front-end developers and you're watching this. So that's all that is really. The server is basically we use it to serve the files into the browser. So
Right. Yeah, like Apache.
yeah,
Uh,
Node, you know,
no, like
yeah, PHP, Python. So I don't know whatever
yeah.
people use in the back end. So that's why we're using the server.
Yeah, Node is a competitor of the Ruby on Rails.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever language you use in the back end, you use a server. So that's all this is, and we're just starting. Basically, we're starting off a file in the public folder called index.js under the server.
Yeah.
So that's where we're gonna be writing our backend code, right?
Right.
Right.
That's the starting point of
That's
the,
the starting point.
of the backend code.
Awesome, awesome. Keep going.
Absolutely. I created a HTTPS. Well, in this project, I'm going to create a HTTP server. Let's copy some boilerplate code. Then I'll explain.
Yes, let's do it.
Right. First of all, yeah, we import Express. Express is very popular. It's the go-to option for
Node.
yeah, for making a server with the node.
Yes. So that's why we have it here, guys. And if you're one of the MERN developers like we are,
MERN means MERN.
yeah,
If that's the first time you hear it.
yeah. So you definitely will be using Express. So you might as well make Express become your friend.
Right.
Yep.
Awesome.
You know what they say? If you can't beat it, you might as well join it.
Right, join it.
All right. Awesome.
Awesome. Next one is HTTPS. We need this module to create a HTTP server.
Right.
Right. File FS is a built-in Node.js module. It stands for file system. It allows you to read file. We are going to use this module to read the self-assigned SSL certificate for the HTTPS server.
Right.
And nowadays, we always use HTTP server. The Chrome, you know the Chrome browser. Now it gives you a warning. It gives, well, it just shows a question mark, right? If I remember correctly, for HTTP servers. Cool. I'll just make it easier for the future. We'll just use HTTPS. Yeah.
Right. Awesome. And then we have path again.
Right, we have path we talked about in another video. It allows you, it finds, it generates the absolute path.
Right. I like to think of it as exactly what it says, path. Basically, it's it's really path.
You know, when you basically when you want to generate a path,
Right.
you want to use path.
Right.
Because there's a pitfall that I encountered when I first started with the nodes. If you don't use path, what happened? If you use the without using path, you just use the path, write out the path directly as a relative path. If you run the node under different folders, the relative path will be different. So it just using path module will make it safe.
Yeah. So that's why you guys wanna use path. You do not want to run into some kind of issues. So path makes it a lot easier, guys.
I agree.
Then we have the famous body passer.
What is body parser is body.
Well, we have body power here, but it's body parser, guys.
Right.
Awesome.
Don't we want build body, build workout the stuff?
Yeah.
Does Node help us work out? Build the
Yeah.
better fitness?
Yeah.
No, actually, this is not about fitness. This body parser. It parses the incoming API request, so that we can see the JSON format.
Right.
It helps us parse the JSON request. We can access the JSON in the request.
Cool.
Okay, underscore is a popular utility. Did we use it here? Don't
No,
think so.
we didn't use it.
Well, it has some useful utility there, like for manipulating arrays, functions, objects. You might want to take a look at it. Just
Right.
Google underscore, and you have it. URL.
Yeah, you guys welcome to experiment with them too. Some of them may not be necessarily required for your application when you're gonna be starting working with I guess with React or in the back end and stuff like that. They may not necessarily be
Right.
required,
Yeah.
so not all of them is required, but I think we encourage folks to really experiment with them, because that's how you will learn them, right, Steve?
Right.
Awesome. Keep going.
Okay, URL. Did you use URL here? I didn't, right? I didn't. CRS. Okay. This is skip the URL. But I forgot what's that.
Yeah.
Okay, CRS is for disabling the cross domain request. Without this plugin, without this module, if a request from a different domain make a request to our backend, the backend won't allow it.
Okay.
The backend would normally enforce. It will just let the browser know. Let the browser know. Okay, it's okay to do the cross site, cross domain something.
Okay. And passport, the required passport.
In this basic example, we are not going to use passport,
Right.
but it's for authentication.
Yeah, passport mostly has to do with authentication. We won't be using that. Again, that's what I meant by some of these you may not, you don't even probably need them. But it's also good to have an overview. That way, when you actually happen to use them, then you at least remember, hey, I heard of it, or something like that. It never hurts to actually to get familiarized with things in development earlier than when you actually use it, because you never know when you might have to have read a code and then it comes up, and at least you understand it. So
yeah, we hope to get you some exposure to some modules later. You might need it.
right.
Okay, now is just to create a express instant. We call it app. Now we just plug in the express schedules.
So guys, the thing is, once you actually I don't know if I can add this real quick. Once you require the modules, now you're gonna have to use them on the app. So that's when you will be using the app use.
Right, there's it's called middleware.
Right.
It will express will run those modules before processing those requests. will go through this each one of this
individually. Yeah. Awesome, guys. So this is the concept of middleware, guys.
Just comment out this line since I'm not using, we're not putting passport here. Body parser JSON limit. I forgot exactly what it does. I think it is about uploading file, or it looks like it's the JSON. The size of the JSON file to make it bigger, 5,000.
Yeah. Wait, why do we have body power? It should be body parser, right?
It's body. Ah.
Yeah.
You have good eyes.
Yeah, we have body power here the whole time. We're saying
Very
body
good.
parser.
We can, we can take advantage of the WebStorm's refactor tool to change the variable at the same time.
Yeah. So what we used to do this, we basically use the refactor key here on WebStorm, so that way we can do it all at once. You don't have to individually keep doing it. So it's pretty useful that way.
Yeah. It saves you
time,
or and the mistakes maybe.
and mistakes. Yeah, because you probably end up changing one and not the other.
Yeah, if you have a big file and maybe missed one of you.
Right. So it's good to use some of these shortcodes, guys. They do help.
It does. That's a good point. Alright, what do we have here? Did we use mode? Okay. We're not using this, but however, we want to let the folks know what this means, right? The process.env, it reads the environment variable, and this is the environment variable. Usually we use this when we want to define a development or production environment. Depend on the environment, we want the code to run a little bit differently.
Yes. So that's what we do, guys. It has to do with the environment. We won't be using that here though.
Yeah. So I commented out. Okay, cool. Now just this is going to serve the files in the public folder. We use path.resolve. We can do this without the path. Without a path. However, I remember without doing this, if we run node here server, as opposed to, let's see, cd server, we run node here, the path will be different. It will be different.
Right, it's gonna, there's no direction, it's all over the place.
Okay, I'll just use the path.resolve. Good practice. I think that's a good practice.
Yeah, so the path is good practice, guys. So again, the earlier you can build your developing habits, the better it is.
Although it's a little bit troublesome, but it's worth it. It's worth it. It's more code, but it's worth it.
Keep the code clean.
Kept the code clean, cool. Okay, this one served the API. Of course, we haven't created the API, but let's work on it later. So comment out that for now. Here, because we run HTTP server, we need to specify the SSL certificate. Where to find the SSL certificate? You know?
Right.
Seeing you know is not a good habit. Seeing you know is not a good habit. It's a failure.
Hey.
Okay.
We're doing this as we go along.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Since we're just going to use a self-assigned SSL here. You can Google how to find a self-assigned, how to generate self-assigned SSL certificate, or you can use we can use a Let's Encrypt to generate a free SSL certificate for your production server. However, just here we're just going to use a self-assigned SSL certificate. Since I already generated, I'm just going to copy it. Let's create a folder called SSL and copy. Just to generate a public key file and private key stuff. Oh. Do you know how to generate a self-assigned SSL certificate?
So that's the one you can Google it. That's probably gonna take a little time, right?
Yeah. Okay, it's pretty simple actually. Probably here. Yeah. Just need to run a command
so
like
you run
this.
this command?
Yeah.
Okay. So you would run this coming into the WebStorm?
No, we run this command in the terminal. In the terminal,
Yeah.
it will generate a CSR file and a key file. Then we'll just use it here respectively.
Yeah. So if we copy these comments and then we paste them on the terminal, and that should generate the SSL, the self
Assigned.
assigned SSL.
Actually, let's try it now. Let's see. We'll just use default settings. The ls. Yeah, it does. It generate.
Yeah, he actually did it.
Awesome.
Pretty easy. Guys, it's not as complicated as I thought it was going to be, but yeah, it's really easy.
It is. Let's try this.
So there you are. You just generated a self-assigned
Assigned.
SSL, guys.
Right. When you use this, of course, this is not for production server. The browser, if you use this certificate, SSL certificate in the production server, the browser will give you warning.
Right. So you want to use this for production.
Yeah, your user will see a warning. So for production, you can try Let's Encrypt. It's free. It's free tool to generate SSL
For
certificate.
productions.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's keep going.
All right. Let's use this SSL certificate as okay, and let's try it. Use that CSR. Hopefully it works. Okay, cool. Now we just specify a port 443. 443 is the default port for HTTPS server, right?
Yeah.
And we use HTTPS to create a server and pass the Express app as one of the argument. Then we use listen to start the server.
Right.
We give it the port, and when the server starts running, it calls this callback It runs this function. We give it a callback. This is called callback.
Right. So basically, this has to do with where your server, where you're gonna be reading. So when you're gonna read, basically you're gonna read it, and you know which port you're gonna be reading it as when you're gonna see it in your browser. So it's a port 443, and we also have a callback once that's running. That says where it's listening to that port.
Yep. Correct. Now let's run the server and see if we
did it correctly.
Run the server. Alright. Because we haven't says,
we got an error.
Awesome. Why we have this error? Cannot find module express.
Oh yeah, because we
why?
require it. Let's see, where is it?
Yeah, because we need to before.
We didn't. Did we even?
It can't find the module.
Because we did not actually
install it.
We did not install it in.
That's correct. Let's install it.
We did not install it.
Yeah, that's
in
install.
the terminal.
Right.
We require it, but we did not install it.
Yeah.
Guys, this is common mistakes. We're moving a little bit too fast. When I thought we're moving a little bit slow, but we that's what it is. Now, once we install it.
Yeah, we download the dependency. We download the dependency to the project, so the node in this project can find the dependency. Right.
Right.
Okay, cool. And let's see what other module we need. HTTPS. That's a built-in module. Node built-in, so we don't need to install it. FS is a node built-in too. Path is built-in too. We need to. Body parser is not. So let's install that. The body parser.
Yeah.
And underscore. Although we are not using it, but
yeah, we're not using that. But it doesn't hurt to to install it.
Okay, sure. Let's install. And CORS.
So, one of the things that I wanted to also point out here is that as you required these modules, you also have to make certain that they are installed, because if they are not installed, you do get the error, which is what's going on here. This is exactly what's happening. We got the error because they weren't installed.
Right. It wasn't installed. It wasn't downloaded.
How are we looking in time here, Steve?
I can't see the time.
Okay.
Oh, next time I should start
a timer.
Timer.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Okay. Install it. Now let's run again.
Let's run again to see if we have the server here.
Right.
So what did it say now? What error do we have? Return by
no such file. Because the path, something wrong with the path. Okay, we need
the
to
SS
public. Oh, probably we don't need to make it public. We just we don't need to serve the SSL certificate as public. We don't want to serve it as public, right?
No, we don't have
to. So we will move it to the parent folder. So just a node know it. The user won't be able to see it. Okay, let's run again. So what's the error now?
Object create error natives.
It looks like something with a certificate.
The SSL certificate.
Maybe the certificate we generated is not good.
The one, the code that we did.
Right. Let's generate. Oh, maybe this one. Or maybe we should generate this one. Self-assigned certificate.
Duh.
The
We generate the wrong certificate, the wrong
Yeah.
SSL.
right. We ran the wrong command. I'm sorry, guys.
So guys, we are making. You see, we are
Yeah.
making the.
Yeah.
You know, some of the
Yeah.
mistakes that most people that are
Yeah.
coding and developing stuff
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. We make mistakes. Right. That's okay. We just yeah.
Yeah, we're supposed to
Yeah.
make mistakes and we learn from them. And then these
Yeah.
are common mistakes. A lot of developers make.
Yeah. That's the part of the.
Although
process.
it's not necessarily a mistake, but what it is
Yeah.
basically you
Yeah.
we're installing basically the wrong files.
We ran the wrong command.
But the good thing about the terminal, sometimes the terminal will tell you. You see, it's either it is good or it is not good. The terminal will tell you. So
it gives you error messages.
it will give you the error messages and let you know where you are and what you're doing, which is a
Yes.
lovely thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's give you feedback.
Feedback, guys.
Right. Next, let's run the command to generate the self-assigned certificate. We use default setting again, and see these two files. Just copy it to the SSL.
So if you guys are following along, the first one we assigned was not the right one.
Right.
So you want to you might get stuck. So the one that we downloaded now, let me just see, just in case if they're following along. And when you go into the actual so once you go into the actual website, you want to go on the one that says generate a self-assigned certificate, and you want to copy that to the terminal, so that way you'll be able to overpass that error. Hope that makes sense, guys.
Yeah, I think in the last step we generated the wrong certificate.
Yeah.
It was not certificate. What did we generate? CSR.
Yeah, the last one we did, we generated the CSR. But that's really not what we wanted to do. So we wanted the SSL certificate. So that's why, if you are following along, please excuse the mistakes. Just go and then basically install the SSL certificate.
Yeah, that's how we develop. We try and try. If something didn't work, we try.
And then we try to figure out the error. That's part of the debugging and development.
Yeah. So don't get discouraged by
the errors. Just read them and then try to debug them.
Yeah.
And move forward, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. Cool. Let's try again. See. Oh. I deleted the raw file. I should delete all of them. I'll delete all of them. Actually, let me generate them again, because I delete the file generated by mistake. Okay, so copy the file. Domain.key. Oh, already? Why?
What happened?
It should generate a key file, right? What's wrong? Oh, here. Good.
It's right here.
Awesome. If you see if you're wondering where the Windows comes from, it appears nowhere. Appears from nowhere. It's because we are using two screens. As a
Right.
That's a recommendation to you as well, to you guys. Two screen will make you more productive.
Yes.
You spend less time switching, more time doing.
Yes, that's productivity in web development.
Exactly.
To Windows it's also a luxury, guys. I know we're saying to Windows, but sometimes you have to be able to get it. So
Get it?
but get it when you can.
Cool.
Awesome.
Awesome. Alright, domain.key, that's correct. Domain.crt. Good. Now let's run the node server again. Okay, now we have another error.
Okay, guys, today we are just debugging. So what is the error this time around?
It says listen E access 443.
Oh, that's in the port.
Right. So do you know why we have this error?
Yeah, why do we have this error?
Because the process if a process want to use a port under the port less than port 1024,
Right.
they need to have a root access. So we need
Okay,
to
so
run
that's what's missing.
we need to run the node with a root access and put your password in. It looks like it's running. Let's test it.
Ding ding ding. Let's see here.
Right, let's go to localhost. Actually, HTTPS localhost. That's normal because the SSL certificate we created is self-assigned.
Yes.
We did
it. It is here, guys. We did
Very
it.
good. If you follow along, congratulations. You did it.
You did it, and we have debugged this. And as you can see, guys, just doing that, you see how many errors can come up. You see, like Steve says, it's important that you do not get discouraged and you stick with it, and basically start from what you know. Sometimes when you use the error, it tells you exactly what's going on. And if you really take the time and trying to figure out, eventually you will get the result that you want.
Yeah, and take advantage of the tool. Like we can take advantage of Google. If you have an error, you can Google it.
Yeah. Google is just a developer's best friend. You all know that. I mean,
yeah.
Google everything as a developer that you do not know. That's the rule of thumb. Because somewhere there, other developers might have actually wrote about it. They had the same problems. They share it, and then you can learn from it.
It's great that we have those people online and share their answers, share their solutions.
Yeah. So that's why we also encourage you guys as developers or future developers, to share in the community because it helps other developers as well.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's it for this module.
This is it, guys. If this is a little bit confusing, go back again, stick with it, and also see the mistakes that we make, learn from it. And again, as always, if you guys have any questions, put it in the comments.
Right, we'll do my best. Do our best.
The reason why we create this is to help you guys out, at least give you guys an idea of what you're doing. So, yeah. Well, it was nice hanging out with.
Yeah, looking forward to see your comments in the comments section.
Yeah, and thanks for hanging out with us here, Steve and Ethan. Awesome. Take care.